Okay, so we should be live. Let's just get into the sim. Yeah, I'll explain what I'm doing in a second. Well, essentially, I was sat at home, idling, watching YouTube videos, and I thought, let's be a bit more proactive. It's a Sunday afternoon, apart from going out to a service this morning. That's all I've done. Nothing else planned. So why not? Why not do a quick video for you chaps? So this will be just one of those ad hoc solo live streams, and it'll be up on YouTube later, so we can just fly and chat. And I'm flying the Quickie aircraft. Now, I did a review of this some time ago. Let me just see if this works. I'm having a bit of trouble with YouTube or my recording software today. Yeah, so on flightsim.com, I've linked this down in the description. It's the article I did some time ago of the Quickie Q200. When was that? First published on the 3rd of... It's either the 11th of March. I think it was probably March, or the 11th or the 3rd of November. But anyway, link down in the description. You can go and read through that. And even at the end of that, let me just see if this is going to work. Yep, end of that, it's linked to my YouTube video there. It's out on Xbox and PC, the Quickie. Let's just bring you back to the sim. So if you fly either, I know people in the Discord have it on Xbox. And obviously I'm using PC for this one. Let's get inside the aircraft though, and start her up. And the whole idea is I've flown the Quickie around, but I haven't done much autopilot shenanigans. Which is this one here. It's like a G500 or something like that. It does work. I've been testing it. So what I will do is do a quick fly around London. Let me just make sure my altimeter is correct there. That's better for Heathrow. And this is the inner scene Heathrow Airport add-on. It does look pretty darn good, I've got to tell you. Very immersive add-on. Link to my video is in the description as well. So don't go and watch it yet. Stay with me. Keep me company here. So let's just do a quick push back here. There we go. Just Shift and P just for ease of use. And I do have little nav map up and running as well. So I'll take a look at that in a moment. Actually, I could take a look at that while you're watching me push back. Just to get an idea. I want to head out to the east. That's okay. We can sort that in a second. So how you all keeping, chat? So it's just me, just you and me, YouTube. We're just chatting and flying. Now I know Mark from Simhanger, he's got a live stream. He does the epic live streams. Lots of people fly with him. He's got one due to come out today at 6 o'clock UK time. It's just before, it's about 3:45 now. So I'll get off in good time, in case you want to join that. I've linked his channel in the description. Do go and check Mark out if you haven't already. Check his videos out, and he's got a live stream, like I said, at 6 o'clock. So I'll be at least in the chat for that, supporting him. Okay, so where are we? We'll push back. Let me just take a look at little nav map here. I might as well bring you along for the ride here. So that's where we are. We're heading basically in a sort of southwest direction. So I want to get round to this runway here. So runway 9 right, 09 right. And then we can take off. So I believe... Now I'm going to watch the Quickie, because just a tiny bit of throttle and it wants to rocket away. It's not called the Quickie just by name. Its nature is very quick as well. Let's stay external for the moment, just so I can see what I'm doing. As you can see, the beauty of inner scene Heathrow Airport, though. Absolutely wonderful. So there we go. We'll just come to the right, then left to get on the runway. I'll have to keep referring. Do I have you in the sim? Yep, I do indeed. Just to try and get on that runway, which is behind these terminals. Look at this. Look at the scenery. Beautiful. Never get bored with Heathrow inner scene scenery. As you can see, it does even... Oh, lovely. Wonderful. Okay. And all that kind of thing. Let me just pause here for a moment. How quick the Quickie is. Just a tiny bit of throttle on your flying. So I need to come to my left, basically, the terminals. Ah, I could have picked a closer gate, but never mind. I'm going to follow the taxiway markings somewhat. And if I need to come off them, so coming to the left here. Literally, I've got maybe a tenth of the throttle on my HOTAS kicked in there, engaged, and look how quickly the Quickie wants to get quickly to its destination. It's tricky. Actually, it's great fun. Hopefully this video will convince a few of you to go and try the Quickie. You can get it on sale quite often from the marketplace now, I believe. Or you can buy it from somewhere like flightsim.com if you wish. Not done an article with them for a long time. I may get back to it. Look at that scenery. Beautiful. Very, very clear taxiway markings here as well. Now, am I heading in the right direction generally? I believe so. Oh, this will do. And then we come to our right and then onto the runway. I believe. Let's just see what happens. Take a right here. We don't need all the runway. Slow ourselves down. Yeesh. Quick little bugger, isn't it? Okay, let me just refer quickly. Let's just slow down now. I'm not in anybody's way. Come on, stop. Quicker, I know you're eager. Yeah, right next to the runway, but just keep going a little bit here. I should be on it. Do bear with me. Yep, just engage again. Yeah, so if you saw a live stream go up a few minutes ago, my OBS stopped responding, so had to do it again. It's not doing my channel any favours because YouTube counts it in its own in its analytic bot scheme it's got going on. So if you just get a couple of views, it's not brilliant. Never mind. It sort of stops recommending videos. It's a funny old thing, YouTube, the way it works, but that's just the nature of it. But regardless, I'm going to go ahead with this live stream anyway. It's not all about views all the time. It's about having a bit of fun. So here we are. Let's get on this runway here. Oh, I can't see a thing internally because the nose tipped backwards until you put power in it. There we go. It's difficult to see internally. There we go. If we go full power here, you'll see the nose come forward. And within seconds, this little thing just wants to go straight up in the air there. Would help if I had my view. Yeah, okay. My bad. Okay, so let's head towards first protocol, hand flying. And I'm hopefully taking off in the right direction here. Let me just double check. Never mind, we're in a Quickie. Head towards the centre of London. With a HOTAS in hand and a Quickie, you're going to do a 180 in no time at all. Fly back over the airport. Beautiful inner scene scenery there. Beautiful. There we go. Head towards the sort of skyscrapers as such in the distance. There we go. Let me just trim out a little bit there. All's going well. Yeah, so you can see some of the London landmarks. So again, if you just joined me, this is just an ad hoc live stream, which I like to do now and again. I was a bit bored, and instead of just doing nothing, I thought, put some of my channel to use and do a live stream. Why not? And Quickie especially, because I do enjoy flying it, and I reviewed it some time ago. Article is in the description, in case you can go and read through that later if you want. I've not flown it a great deal, and it does have a capable autopilot system on board, which I'll be using. But first protocol, London City Airport. Just to blow off the cobwebs, I'll do a quick landing. should be okay. Let me know if the noise levels are okay, chaps. All very quiet in chat at the moment, and there's a few of you watching. Don't be shy. And yeah, I've got, basically this is just a default London scenery, but I do have my rolling cache on. And I've got Orbix Central installed, and of course Orbix North installed. I was flying over that in the live stream last night. Yeah, my busy chat. Live stream last night, live stream today for an hour or so. And I've got a video coming out tonight, back to basics video about nighttime flying. So be sure to catch that later. That's going to release at 8 o'clock UK time. So anybody having trouble flying at night or wants to learn a few tips and hints, that's a good video for you. So there we go, let's just hope OBS behaves itself now. There's the Thames, of course. Now we can fly along that while we're in the Quickie. Very simple to do in a Quickie. Beautiful scenery, and like I mentioned in my original review, you get a view like no other aircraft in the Quickie. Your field of view is just fantastic. Now I've got quick look engaged on my hold task, but if you had a smooth look, so I'll use the mouse in this case because I don't have it assigned, you can get some incredible field of views in this aircraft. Simply one of the best in Flight Simulator, and it moves like a rocket. What we're doing at the moment, it's about, whoa, what is it, 140? So we're cruising around 140 or so at the moment. 140 knots, so it can get from A to B fairly quickly. And what I want to do, if we get time, I'm going to fly to, because I don't want to collide with Mark's live stream. Going to fly towards Manchester, or as near as we can get, but London City first, and using the autopilot after we've landed here. So, all good fun. Come on, we're in a Quickie. Let's drop our altitude fairly easily in this thing. There we go. We can do some bridge shenanigans. Now, some of the bridges in Flight Simulator have an invisible wall, so I don't want to fly under some of these, just in case. I know London Tower Bridge, you can fly between the towers at least. There we go, flying low and fast over London, which is, if you have scenery add-on packages, so you just want to fly over London or other cities that look good in the sim, the Quick is the way to go. Absolutely, it gives you, like I said, the best field of view. Yeah, I mean, look, you can see for yourself, it's just fantastic to sightsee in. Now then, don't crash into the London Eye, good chap. Can go around this corner fairly easily in the Quickie. Landmarks of London there. I've got the London landmarks, of course, installed as well, so yours looks slightly different. That's possibly why. A few more added landmarks in there. Ah, Tower Bridge. Why not? Oh, I got my, yeah, got a good external view set up. So, are we going to make this, or is the stream going to end? Ah, between the towers. No issues. Wee. Oh, I love doing that. Ah, it's just perfect for that type of flying, the Quickie. Really good fun. And look. Okay, let me just throttle back now, because London City Airport does have a flap system. I think they're called Flexor on the Quickie. And you really want to be landing with Flexor flaps stage 1 at least. That's with most aircraft. There we go. Slow down. If I get it down to around 80 knots, which we're getting towards 100, between 100 and 80 knots, or 80 and 100 knots. That's good for Flexor 1 from memory. It takes a little while to get used to, but not difficult. Certainly not difficult to fly. A little bit trickier to land than there's something like the Cessna. You just have to be slow. It can bounce quite a lot, the Quickie I've noticed. Oh, look how close we can get to these buildings. Beautiful. You don't get views like that in other aircraft, do you? Okay, let's just concentrate. Going up to London City, of course. And then from there, we'll kick in the autopilot. I'll show you the autopilot and the way that works in a moment, in case you are wondering. It does work. It's a bit fiddly as well. Maybe I'm just not used to it. But I'll show you. Let's just trim up a little bit. I'm having to hold my HOTAS back there. A little bit uncomfortably. A little bit awkwardly, shall we say. There we go. Coming in, runway 9, London City. And we go Flexor. On flaps 1 now, you'll notice the speed will drop off here, which helps, of course. And you want to be as slow as you can without stalling until you hit the runway. Bring my throttle back a wee bit more there too. Wee bit more. London City add-on installed as well, the airport. Oh, a bit sideways, but never mind. I think that will do. Let's just try and float her a little bit rather than dump her on the runway. I knew that would blooming happen. Always seem to bounce. Right. Oh, look, it's kangaroo time. Definitely need a little bit more practice in landing this thing. Oh, there we go, but we're down anyway. Shh. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. Is there a replay there? Okie dokie. Chat, how are you all keeping? I know there's a few of you there. Don't be shy and do say hello. Let's go to the little nav map here. And what we could do, like I said, I want to test the autopilot. I want to take off in that direction as well. Let's just clear that path. I was doing a quick test of that before. There we go. What we should do is head over to Luton Airport. Let me just get the code for it. Luton. It's EGGW. EGGW. Let's bring you back to the sim. There we go. And I'll come down to my... I'm going to block the runway. Sorry, chaps. Just ignore me. Come down to my G500 or whatever it is here, my autopilot unit. And I can go direct to here. Direct to tab. And I need a flashing blinker, so left click, hold left mouse button and right click. And unfortunately it's not got a keyboard entry mode as far as I know here. Does it? Pressing the keyboard? No, it doesn't. So I'm going to have to use the knobs to get down to E. E. Then we use the inner knob to go to the next one along. EGG. Oh, it takes a while, but it does work. EGG. For those who are joining me, this is just an ad hoc live stream, chat and fly, which I like to do every so often. Simply because I was a little bit bored and I thought, why not do a live stream? And if you're bored, it might entertain you for a bit. So that's the idea. EGG W. Now if we go up, no, go down. That's EGG W. Luton has come up there. So we can press enter and activate it. And it's in our G500 autopilot unit here. What we can do, what we need to do is press the CDI button so that's on GPS. Otherwise, if you go to nav mode, it won't follow it. You've got to be in GPS mode. Okay, possibly got enough. Let's just check. Yeah, we've got enough runway to take off in a quickie. It's not going to be a problem. Get my flaps back up. Because as you'll see, in no time, just pull back on a stick with a very short space and you're up in the air. No landing gear to raise. It's a fixed landing gear. And if you don't know about the Quickie, it's a kit form aircraft. So basically people would make these aircraft themselves, buy it in kit form and make it. I'm going to press altitude hold and nav mode. Now the altitude hold, as you can see, doesn't always seem to hold. So I have to click up on this vertical speed knob here to stop it climbing so vigorously there. I'm not quite sure how, I've not quite got used to the altitude hold there. As you can see, we're climbing very rapidly there. Hoping this is going to work. If not, I may have to take it off. There we are. It's pretty much me testing the autopilot system out on this as well. I'm not very familiar with it in the Quickie, or with this autopilot system in general. This is following our route at least. I'll show you that in a moment. I've got it in nav mode. Come down in altitude, please. No, this does work. It's a bit of a pain, but I'm just not quite sure. Even reading the manual, it doesn't explain this part thoroughly. We are way up in the sky at the moment. So I want to come down. This is live weather as well. This is what it's like in the south at the moment. There we go. So we should start to drop altitude now. I get it back down to a more reasonable altitude. But we are following at least and our course towards Luton. So it does work in that respect. Input a direct to, and you can easily follow a course. Or you can do a course, obviously make your own flight routes up on the world map and it will follow that as long as you've got it in GPS mode. As you can see there, just press your CDI button to put it into the GPS mode and nav will work. It's the altitude thing which is a problem. I mean, maybe, okay, next time I do that, maybe just level off first would be ideal, because it is an older kit form aircraft. It's not quite as advanced as the G1000, the autopilot on this. Okay, I just want to mouse downwards now, because I don't want to be crashing into the ground. So I want to get my vertical speed leveled out. Do bear with me, like I said, this is me testing out. There we are. Now it's rising back up. Yep. This is me testing out these systems as well. I'm not over familiar with this autopilot system, but this does seem to work, as you can see. So I can level myself out there roughly, and that's fine. Ah, strange. I don't know what's going on with that autopilot system. Follows the course okay. Altitude is a bit wacky. Hello, how you doing? Freddy and FS Sim, good to see you. Just doing an ad-hoc live stream before Mark Simhanger's live stream, which is at 6 o'clock, so I want to get off in plenty of time to give you a bit of rest to go and watch him. If you're not familiar with Mark... Oh. Ah, what was I saying there? I know what that is. No, it's not. I don't know what that is. I just broke the aircraft. Ah. The engine cut out. Oh, okay, what was I saying? Yeah. Not familiar with Mark. Go and watch. Very strange. Okay. Probably something I did inadvertently there. I wonder if I've got a binding I shouldn't have somewhere. Never mind. Okay, what's happening with my... Let's just get my vertical speed set here. On my trim set. Bear with me, chaps. This is as new to me as it is to you with the autopilot. I've got it in autopilot mode. It's following a nav course towards Luton. Literally no idea what's going on here. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it off altitude hold mode, trim out myself, and then put it back into altitude hold mode once I've got it nicely trimmed. I think that's probably the best way to do this. Hopefully this will work. I am trimming. Oh, you know what? This will do. Let's just try that. Just messing with the selected altitude knob as well. There's no reading on that selected... Ah, is it staying? Good. My goodness me, what a mess around. So the engine cut out and it threw me in a... really messed up the aircraft there. I think that's okay. Top speed while straight on level. Certainly am. Yeah, I'm a newbie with this one, Alan, as well. How quick can you cruise? Well, let's just take a look. I mean, I generally cruise around about... The fastest I tend to go is 200. You'd be pushing it and braking the engine if you go much faster than that. So I'll say about 200 and 210 would be the top speed. Can literally go, I mean, I had it on full throttle there, and as you saw, what's that, about 180 knots? But I have had it over 200, a little bit higher up. So I'll say between 200 and 210 knots. There is an online manual, by the way. Just type into Google Quickie, Microsoft Flight Simulator Quickie Manual. You'll get a link to it. No, I haven't got it up myself. But the manual will explain all that stuff. Just do a quick search for the Quickie Manual. Okay, let's just take a look at little nav map myself. Coming up to Luton. Now I do have airport markers on, so I should be able to see it just to aid me here, but I'm heading straight towards it. That's Luton there. So I'll have to take it off autopilot in a moment anyway. Yeah, guys, if you're more familiar, I'm okay with the nav system in the Quickie. What I'm not okay with is the altitude. Oh, goodness me, that came up quick. Okay, autopilot off. Let's bring my speed down. Yeah, not too slow, please. And I'll just bank to my left here and line up with the runway at Luton. Just making sure that the engine's not cutting out there. It went awfully quiet, but it's not. Just got it to half throttle. Okay, let me just refer to little nav map here, just so I can get an idea. Yeah, I'm heading in the right direction. Okay, let's bank a little bit more left and we can line up with it a lot easier. So I bank to the left and look out to my right. Once that's parallel, or just behind the ring there, behind the wing, I shall bank right and line up with the runway. So this is very ad hoc, so it's be runway 7. Just checking that on nav map. I'm pretty much parallel to the airport runway, so I'll have to... Yeah, it's okay, I can sort it. Not a problem. Let's see if I can land without bouncing this time. It really is, yeah, it's just a very clear day as well. Very clear day. I do have Orbix Central installed. This is not Central, we're still pretty much in the south at the moment. But when we do get to Central, You should see a bit of added scenery there as well. I do have a review up for both Central and Orbix North. We're all waiting for the South to be released, which is hopefully soon. I've heard no news, but I may reach out to Orbix and ask them when they predict it will be released, because yeah, it'll be nice to have the full set. I'll tell you what. Yeah, let's just do a quick landing here. Now, I'm kind of lining myself up. I could just fly on to Birmingham, which will be EGBB, I believe. I'll double check that in little nav map in a moment. But do a quick landing here, then fly on to Birmingham. Trying to get to Manchester ultimately. And in the Quickie, it doesn't seem to take long at all, so that's good. Start turning back towards Luton here. And if you just joined us, I'm just utilising the Quickie's autopilot, and it's I'm having success with the nav mode. I'm not having much success with the... It's just very unfamiliar to me with the altitude hold, and goodness knows what. But we'll work it out. We'll work it out. Now then. Let's just take a quick recce here. Now the runway should be... Am I just not seeing it properly for some reason? Typical me, I always spot the runways a little bit too late. Should be no problem lining up with it once I can see it. I'm really having difficulty spotting the runway. Ah, that's why. Okay. Looking in the wrong direction. So I put the first stage, stage 1 flexor in on the Quickie. It's basically stage 1 flaps. Just to keep my speed around about the 80 knots. And I want to slowly decrease that. Certainly decrease that. In fact, this time around I'm going to go flexor 2. There we go. Flexor 2 to slow me down even further, because it's a bouncy little devil, the Quickie. And this is all ad hoc, even the airports. I mean, I've flown around these airports previously, just not recently. So if I'm having difficulty spotting them, that's why. There we go. Slow my speed down here and try and do... I've got plenty of runway, so I'm going to take my time with this one. And try and float it more. Try and essentially stall it. Ah, will do. Onto the runway. It looks like a couple of people want to come into land there. Let me just raise my flaps. Or flexors. Don't need a lot of throttle with the Quickie. I don't know why the parking brake engaged there. I did not press that. Never mind. Let's just come off the runway in case somebody else wants to land, and we can set up our next destination. So there we go. How are we doing? Are we off the runway? We are. Let me just catch up with you chaps. Afternoon, Rossan. How are you doing? Yeah, just an ad hoc stream. Oh, nice jet star taking off there. Ad hoc stream. I thought, why not? A bit bored at home. Nothing much happening. I'm not meeting anybody today, so I thought, yep, put my YouTube channel to some good use at least. That's what I'm doing. Okay, next port of call, guys. Okay, so we're at Luton. This is where we are on little nav map, and we want to get to Birmingham next. So utilising the Quickie autopilot again. So you can essentially do a cross-country jaunt in the Quickie. Birmingham, it is EGBB, isn't it? It's just there. EGBB. And if we're heading towards that, we should be heading pretty much towards the runway as well. Get back in the sim. Okay, let's Now I need to get inside the aircraft, that'll be a good start. And we'll do another direct to here, so direct to. Hold your left mouse over this knob here, and press your right mouse. And then you can, unfortunately no keyboard entry, so you have to do it manually. But I'm using the outer knob to change the letters, e.g. inner knob to move it along one. Oh, it would have been easier going the other way, never mind. E.g. Right. Well, would it? No, it's going through the bloody numbers now. Okay. Maybe it is a bit quicker. EGBB. And Birmingham should hopefully come up once I enter B here. Oh. Once I... B, Birmingham, perfect. Enter. And activate. And there you go. It's put into the course now. Our next port of call. And you can range in and out. It's a very basic... like a G500 system, isn't it? Quickie does have a name. It's got an odd registration. This autopilot screen or multifunctional screen has an odd little name, but it's essentially like a G500 or something. So what we can do with that all set up, we can just take off simply from this runway here. Tiny bit of throttle to get us started. Let me just make sure I've got my flexors up. Oh, that could really disrupt my flight. And yeah, what I'll do here first is actually just get the altitude sorted before I stick it on autopilot. Otherwise, as you saw before, it can be problematic. There we go. Easy to take off. Little runway needed. Okay, let me just sort my altitude first. If we get to around 1,500, should be okay. Let's head some way towards... Where are we? Oh. Okay, well that's rising. Oh. Don't do that, please. It's just zooming the range in. There we go. Just need to bank to our left. Just manually fly us towards the coast, just while I get the altitude sorted first. So it'll be pretty much northwest, wouldn't it? Just looking at the compass down here. There we go, just start trimming out now. The joys of using buttons for trim, it does work. But yeah, it works fine. Right, trim, but please. There we go. It's a tricky one to trim, the Quickie as well. There we go, a little bit more, we should be... You sod, come on. Oh, see how tricky the Quickie is. It's not my trimming skills, it's just all bloody over the place. As soon as you think you've got it trimmed out, it will start shooting up or down. Bear with me, chaps. My goodness me. Just trimming up there. Just want to get this line. I'm looking at this line here. I want to get it centered. Or neutral trim. That should be. Now it should stay there, but it's going to shoot back up again. I'll sort it out in a second. Nav mode and alt hold. Altitude hold as well. And it's holding our altitude, isn't that nice? It didn't do that before, but it is now. So it's turning us onto our course towards Birmingham, as you can see there. And the altitude is somewhat behaving, which is nice. So again, if you're just joining me, just an ad hoc live stream, chaps. Not going to go for too long, maybe 5:30 UK time. I want to be off at the latest because Mark's got his. I've linked Mark's channel in the description. If you don't know about Simhanger, he does a live stream, epic live stream flights about once a month. Well worth watching. I'll be there watching him, supporting him tonight. And I've linked my written article off the Quickie, which is the aircraft I'm flying. Just something different, good fun to fly. Article's linked down below, the written article, and the video's linked at the end of the article. Available for Xbox and PC, well worth it if you catch it on sale especially. There we go. I do have you in flight sim mode, I do. I'm just going to check on my little nav map here. I do have some way to go to Birmingham, which is good. Just make sure it's going to be flying in the right direction. Always a good thing. Well, this is one way to find out. I did set it to Birmingham. Our course to Birmingham, and it did come up on the autopilot system. So with any luck and any help, we should be getting towards Birmingham, or flying towards Birmingham. Just looks a little bit odd on little nav map, but it should be okay. It should be okay. Let's just make sure. Yeah, it's flying towards the magenta line at the moment. That's better. That's better. Then banking right. Had me worried for a little bit there. I got GPS turned on. I do. Yeah, that should be fine. So a few people flying as usual, which is nice to see. Let's just see if we have anybody familiar. I don't see anybody, but you know, I'm on North Europe service, so if you just want to spawn in on top of me, or Al Watt in front of me there, that's nice. What are you up to, Al? Are you watching the stream, or? Well, if you're not, you won't answer me, of course. Henry Cheese, lovely name. Yeah, okay, let's just, while we're flying towards it, let's just switch you to little nav map to show you where we are. So that's where we are at the moment, took off from Luton. And if we keep flying in that direction, Birmingham is just here. So we should be heading towards, it's a great little utility little nav map if you have PC, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Just keeps track of your aircraft accurately, very accurately. Just lets you know where you are, basically. I wonder if it does that in this G, whatever it is, G500 I'm going to call it. I'm not sure it does. Unless you know more about this system than I do, is there a way to get our range up there? How far we are from our direct to? It does. Well, actually, funny you should say that, Dragonfly, because the branding, let's come down one. There you go. Actually, yeah, let's use my mouse here. Dragonfly. It's a very niche little aircraft is the Quickie. It's a kit aircraft. So it's basically for flight enthusiasts. It's just wonderful. Wonderful little aircraft, something different to fly. And it kind of reminds me of a catfish when I first saw it. Like an aquatic sea creature. As you can see there, Dragonfly written on it. And it's not the absolute quickest aircraft out there, it's just got probably the best field of view. Certainly one of them, I'd say it's the best one I've seen in Flight Simulator. Best field of view. It's just great for sightseeing if you've got a scenery pack or you like to fly around this sort of, what do you call it, photogrammetry cities. It's an excellent aircraft to choose, the Quickie. Okay, where are we on little nav map? Oh, we're getting there. It's getting to Birmingham, so we've pretty much flown from London to Birmingham in no time at all. So it's a quick little aircraft. I'm not at the top speed though, I'm about 190 knots. So going well. Track AI, yeah, I do have the D-Line clip, I just don't have it with me. I have a VR set with me, but it's the CV1, it's the old Oculus, which is great sounding, it's one of the best sounding headsets. But my laptop, although it's very good, it only has 3 USB ports, so I need to get myself a USB hub of some sort, or adapter. Because once the CV1's plugged in, it uses all 3 USB ports, so I've got no USB for my flight controller, which is not good. It's a capable laptop, it's a 3060, so it runs VR pretty well as well. I've actually got Kayak VR, I just downloaded it recently. It's this kind of like new, amazing looking VR game. You're kayaking, but in very realistic surroundings. Okay, saying that YouTube is not receiving enough video, sorry chaps. Let's hope that goes away. Let me know if the stream's coming through clearly. Sunday afternoon. I am in a good area, and my internet's generally good. It was excellent last night during the live stream. Let me know, chaps, on the quality. Seems a few people are dropping out for some reason. Maybe it's just one of those things. Okay. Birmingham, we are approaching it. We're going to be flying over Coventry Airport first, and then on to Birmingham. It's fine. Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much. And apologies, guys. No warning for this stream. Like I said, I was sat at home doing nothing, or not much. Just browsing YouTube videos. I wanted to be a little bit more productive than that. Couple of skips, but coming through fine, that's great. Afternoon, Steph, how you doing? It does remind you of a dragonfly, yeah. It does, doesn't it? It's all clear, thanks Rosin, that's great. Local skips, yeah, I'll just click on the YouTube page. It's still saying... Oh, it's gone off now. It's saying excellent connection now, so it should be okay. Hopefully. It's just Sunday afternoon. I think a lot of people are using the old internet. So where are we? Should be... Oh, there's Dave. One more way. That's great. Al, what are you all doing there, chaps? Okay, where are we on little nav map? Yeah, doesn't look to be too far, Birmingham. There's a lot of names ahead of me, but I think I can just see the... no, I can't. I'm going to say I think I can see the points of interest for Birmingham, but I can't. So, Newham airstrip there. That's Birmingham there, just ahead, but we'll soon find out. And we should be flying straight towards the runway, so I want to practice my landings in this thing as well. So bear with me, chaps, I'll land at Birmingham. Why is it bouncing? It's the turbulence. I've got it on live weather. So it'll just be typical flight sim turbulence. And it's a kit aircraft. Don't forget, guys, go and read the article. Or have it open. I've linked it down in the description. It's basically a kit form aircraft. So this will come in kit form. You'll get it through the post and kit form, and then you would have to assemble it yourself. Much loved aircraft. Although I hadn't heard of it before reviewing it. What is the dirty stall speed? You can get very low on this in terms of speed. I've been down to 40 and it's not stalled. Maybe 30. It does say it in the manual, I just don't have the manual open. I am going to check my fuel because it likes to... No, I'm fine. So it likes to guzzle fuel. Oh, what has happened? That happened before. And I have no idea, I didn't click anything. Just going to Control E. And hoping that engine will kick back in again. It's just floating at the moment. Controlling E just to kick the engine back in. Oh, this is good. Not so good. Oh, come on. Come on, I'm going to lose too much speed here. Let's pull back the throttle completely, see if that helps. Oh, there's no reason why it should be losing. Isn't that strange? I must have a binding or something. Because it happened in the Spitfire a couple of times too. Might just have to do an emergency landing here, chaps, what it? Have I sorted it? No, the engine kicked in. Oh, I'm going to have to do an emergency landing, chaps. I've absolutely no idea why it does that. No idea. So I'm just going to float down. Let's just take it off autopilot here. Actually, take it off autopilot. Yeah, there's a field just ahead of me here. I'm just... Well... adds a bit of excitement to the stream, hey? Let's see if I can put Flexor 1. Don't crash into trees, please. I can't see... Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Well... that is one way to do it, isn't it? Just bear with me for a second. Let's do this with you. No idea. Just completely cut out on me. And it happened just before... Anybody flying and watching the stream, do you know why that may happen? Fuel, no, I just checked the fuel. No, it was pretty full. I didn't stall. Yeah, I stalled because I was basically my engine cut out. I have no idea. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over to Birmingham. There we go. Set as departure. Let's sort this out. Let's just set off from this runway. Experimental fuel. Yeah, I no idea, honestly. Yeah, I pulled back the yoke. Pull back the yoke? No, I didn't pull back the yoke. No, there's nothing to do with that. It just, the engine cut out during mid-flight. There was enough fuel in there. I actually showed you the fuel page. Enough fuel, and I clicked nothing on the keyboard. I just don't know what happened. Don't know. It's happened a couple of times in this live stream. So it is I really don't know. I'll double check on that. I'm just going to jump back into the aircraft and take a quick look around. Just to see. Now the engine, is it going to stay running? Yeah. Just going to see if I inadvertently pressed something that I shouldn't have done. You see, I didn't press any of this. Mixture was in. Fuel switch pump, maybe? Maybe I'll just have to keep an eye on things. I don't know, chaps. Really don't know what happened. We'll take off again and see what happens, see if it does something similar, and see if we can fix it. But for now, we're at Birmingham, so we've got time. We can fly towards. Let's just switch you to little nav map. It's as much experimental for me as it is for you, this. I don't fly the Quickie much, and I've certainly not taken it across country. Now Manchester, EGCC, isn't it? EGCC. So we'll fly towards Manchester, and then we'll end the stream. But I am eager to see if that happens again, and how we fix it if it does. So direct to... I've got a feeling it's something to do with my bindings. I've got a binding somewhere on this Mach 2, because it happened with the Spitfire. Thankfully not last night. But it's happened a couple of times with that. Oh, not so much happened with that, but I was getting odd artifacts happening in the Spitfire as well. I don't know. I'm at a loss, to be honest, so any help there would be appreciated. E.g. let's get to C. E.g. Manchester, thankfully I thought that was going to mess me about there too. And we can activate that, so that's all in GPS. It's already on GPS, that's fine. If we take off, we can pretty much engage nav mode almost immediately, but once again I want to just trim out the Quickie before that happens. Look at that, take off straight away. No issues there at all. Got to trim down because it wants to reach for the skies. Didn't press my B key, so I've just pressed it there just to make sure the altimeter's correct. There you go, let's just trim out to get it towards neutral trim. And you know what, I'm going to risk that and say that'll be fine and it will trim itself out. Yeah. Maybe not. It's okay, I can fix that. Let's just take it off autopilot and fix it manually. Going far too high. So yeah, chaps, aside from reviewing it, doing a few quick fly around, I've not taken it across country, and I've certainly not engaged the autopilot with it too much. So this is pretty much me testing, live stream testing, checking out. When I want to do more flying with aircrafts, I'll simply do, well, I'll usually check them out offline, but certainly not an expert with the Quickie, as you can see. Very much me testing, messing around with it. Okay, right. Behave this time, please. Ah. Isn't it funny? Stick on altitude hold mode, but that, no, that doesn't make a difference either. Very strange little aircraft. I'll have to play around with this offline to see if I can figure this out, maybe look at a few forums or something. Unless my bindings are completely screwed, which I've got a feeling a lot of them are. There we go, we're getting our vertical speed back to neutral. So basically I'm mousing up on this vertical speed control. It does seem to help to get it back to neutral vertical speed. Neutral trim, rather. There we go, we'll just let it descend a little bit. Let's just catch up on chat. You have to restart the sim every time, yeah. Oh, you talk about something else there. No, I don't. Not on the laptop, no. I've just got my Mach 2 connected. I wonder if it's the port I'm using. Maybe. We have different USB ports on the laptop. I don't think that should make a difference. It generally doesn't. I don't know. I think it's just artifacts with the Quickie. Personally, I'll have to read up on it a little bit. Now, what is that bloody trim doing? There we go. Stay. Goodness sake. I'm just going to let it settle there. It seems to be settling down. And we'll take a look. We should be in EU North Central territory there. Now we're going towards Manchester. So any extra buildings, tidying up of the scenery should be because we are within the region, which is good. Okay, so I'm trimmed out. That's good. Watching from Australia. Hope I don't sleep in. Let's hope not, but don't let me keep you up. But we're just going to land at Manchester here, and I'm going to get off because Mark's doing a live stream tonight. Link in the description for Mark's channel, Simhanger. Does epic live streams once a month. Well worth watching. Yeah, maybe the transfer, but maybe. Settings for random failures. I'll have to look into it, Steph. Honestly, I'm not overly familiar with the aircraft. I flew it around for the review. Got used to sort of landing, taking off, acrobatics, but I've not done autopilot shenanigans or, yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to mess around with the fuel up here because that seems to set it off. When I click that, could just be an artifact with the sim. It is the latest version of the Quickie. I just downloaded it today. Well, basically, I just re-downloaded it today. So it is the latest one from flightsim.com. I don't have it on the marketplace either, so it may be just off somewhere. Maybe it's not updated on flightsim.com. I don't know. Yeah, they really are. Mark's flights are fantastic. Temporary clear the community folder. Yeah, it could be a good idea, yeah. I'm not fully versed on that conversation you were having there. It's just catching up there. Hello everybody, by the way, people I've not said hello to. I hope you're all keeping well. Just a quick ad hoc live stream. Quickie, which I'm not over familiar with, but it's a great, well, when it doesn't want to kill me, it's a fun aircraft. Can you imagine buying a Quickie in kit form, assembling this yourself? It's almost like a giant, well, not Meccano, Airfix model, and then take it up in the air. No bloody way! There you go, that's Orbit Central, anyway. But people did. People assembled it. Obviously, I hope they knew what they were doing. And then flew it. And it's a, you know, it flies like a little rocket, so it's not something you can walk away from, like I just did if you crash it. Just cannot imagine. Yeah, I just can't imagine doing that. Assembling it yourself. Bear with me, guys, I'm just replying to a quick message there, that's fine. There we go. Back to it. So where are we? Heading towards, let's just bring you to little nav map again. Maybe doing all this is, anyway, I'll do it at once. Risk it. Manchester Airport there, so we want to land on runway, let's go for runway 5 right. And I don't think there's anything I can do with this simple autopilot to set up things like a visual approach. It's the very basic autopilot. Be interesting after this next sim update whether these autopilots will be, so there we are, we're not far from it. Whether these autopilots will be updated to the G1000, I don't know. These types of autopilot, whether these will be have an update. No idea. So I'm going to keep an eye on little nav map, make sure that you're, yep, you're on light sim. The sim, rather. Yeah, take it off autopilot, back to the left and line up with the runway at some point. What issue are you having, Dave? I can't scroll back far enough to... I'm just going to concentrate on the flight as well, but... sounds like Russen's on top of it there, that's good. Now, okay, so still a few people who still with me, chaps. In the sim, I meant. Maybe. Names are jumbled together, so I can't read everybody's name there. You can see Orbit Central, it does look beautiful. Definitely affected the general look of the countryside and other things as well. Beautiful. Got like a mist happening here as well. Slight mist. That does look good. Okay, still a bit of a distance. See, from London to Manchester. Now, you know, I mean, fly that in a Cessna 172. It's going to take you a few hours probably. That was about an hour, wasn't it? You're behind me, Alan. Great. Behind you. That you are what? Oh, Dave's there as well. Yeah, now I can see names better. Yep. What do you think, Dave? You're flying the Quickie, I can see. What do you think of it? I think it's lovely. Not really an autopilot aircraft. Well, it's a bloody fidgety autopilot aircraft. But to fly manually, it's just wonderful. And you can fly across country, no time at all, as you're seeing. Hi, Flight Master. How you doing? Flight Sim Master. Good to see you. Great to see so many people watching this, so you're probably as bored as I was, and it's good I'm being productive and entertaining you. That's great. Yeah, I'll just do these every so often. If I find myself with a few hours to burn, if you don't mind, chaps, I'll just, especially on a weekend, Sunday. Obviously, I'll do community live streams as well, but throw in a couple of these. Ah, it's happened again. I do not know what's going on. I'm going to try. No, that doesn't work. Oh, yes it does. I have no bloody idea. Just going to try and restart the engine. Oh. I didn't do anything, did I? Didn't do a thing. Anti-ice engine, maybe? I'm just flicking switches here, chaps. Ah, I've no idea. Does not make sense. And I can't do anything. Well, listen, this is... Oh... That is the strangest thing. Look, the propeller's sort of flapping in and out a bit. Not giving up yet. But I'm about to stall. Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, can I land this? Maybe there. Oh, missed that one, didn't I? I can just keep it level. Keep trying to prime that blooming engine. It's not fuel, I'll show you them. Oh, look, I'll show you. More than enough fuel in there. I can add more, but... Oh, well that seems to... Ah! Okay, if it goes under a... Okay. I have no idea. I just upped the fuel up. There should have been enough in there. But regardless, that worked. Okay, let's hand fly this into Manchester. I don't know, chaps. Well, yeah, well I do now. Seems fuel is the issue, so if you have that problem, just add a little bit more fuel in. I should have had plenty of fuel there. Don't know what's going on. Strange, eh? Just try and get this back under control. Yeah, it didn't show. Yeah, as you saw with the fuel there, though, I did have fuel in. Experimental indeed. Experimental indeed. Anyway, we solved the problem. So if that happens again, or if it happens to you, just add manually a little bit of fuel from the top here. Let's just up that completely. It was down to around 30% though, wasn't it? No idea. Guess the Quickie's not really a cross-country aircraft. It seems to run out of fuel quite rapidly. So I'm just taking a look at a little nav map to get an idea where Manchester is. I've got it in sight. I am doing this manually now. Right. Sorted. Ah. There we go, we sorted it together. Come with a pack. I wish. Yeah, that would be nice. Look at the scenery. Well, it's a good way to get it's beautiful, isn't it? So that's Orbix Central. Now compare that to the default, and there's a big difference. Central especially is excellent. Out on Xbox and PC as well, guys. The Quickie is, the Central, Orbix Central is, and Orbix North, I believe. Yeah, I'll check for that, Robert. Could be. I'm not over familiar with the aircraft. Just know the basics, basically. Taking off, landing, safe speeds, that type of thing. I will check that out. Sold for now, guys. Okay. At least I saved myself some more embarrassment there. If you're going to watch my live streams, that type of thing will happen from time to time. Especially when I'm flying experimental. There you go, experimental. Apparently all the Quickies have that on the back wall. Looks beautiful inside, by the way. Experimental aircraft, especially when I'm flying something I'm not familiar with. I'm not over familiar with. Oh! Thanks, Lashard. Yeah, okay, well, yeah, I've not looked into Twitch streaming too much. I do watch Twitch now and again. But I believe it's pretty difficult to get going on there. But maybe one day. Got my hands full with YouTube, to be fair. Is that Manchester? Nope. It's over there somewhere. According to little nav map. I'm just getting parallel to the runway. Basically, guys, you can't... So, let me show you. Saying you can't see it, but I can show you a little nav map. Something like aircraft behaves while I'm doing this. I'm flying to around about here, then turning on for an approach to runway 7, yep, 5 right at Manchester. So there we go, that's what I'm doing. And the little thing, the little nav map. There we go. All going well. Good way to end the stream as well, isn't it? You got a black screen. Oh no. That's unfortunate. Yeah, still full of a few problems, flight sim, isn't it? Let's hope the next sim update doesn't bugger more up and fixes a few things. So there we go, we're getting to the point I want to get to turn to Manchester. So I want to turn to around 70 degrees on the compass there, so it'll just be after the 6, of course. Right about here when I do turn. But it feels great. Bit of a pain to trim. I don't know how other people have found the Quickie. Using the velocity one, it's no problem, but you know, it's a stick HOTAS stick controlled aircraft. Very much like a joystick, that, isn't it? So, you know, it doesn't quite feel right using a yoke. but using buttons, it's a pain in the backside to trim. But I've got it mainly trimmed a little high, but if I keep... Okay. Yeah, okay, that's better. I've got it. Want to stay at that altitude, give you a bit of a view of the scenery there. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Manchester should be, let's see, is that Manchester in the distance? We'll find out in a second. See when I start to turn. About now, I can start to turn towards 60, 70 degrees or so. Come on, I'm in a quickie. I can do better than that. That's better. Oh, so that must be Manchester. Right. Trim myself out, dear boy. Actually, we're going to increase that altitude a little bit lower than I want to be here. It's further north you go in the UK, the higher elevation generally of the ground. So many airports here are quite high above sea level. Best thing I can do here is check with a little nav map again. Need to come back to the left, back to the left. Now, that's not Manchester. Manchester, just there. So there we are. We should be pretty much lined up with the runway, so that's all good. It's just a matter of, well, let's do a nice smooth landing this time, shall we? Okay, let's trim down now, I don't want to climb too much further. And it gives you about an hour before Mark's live stream then. So I should be finished within the next 10 minutes, hopefully. Link down to Mark channel down below in the description. Do go and support him. I'll be there tonight supporting him. At least in the chat. Good idea. Barrel. Yeah, that's fine. It seems okay. Just press the B key there. Seems to be set okay. Okay. Yeah, we should be heading straight towards the runway there. Oh, what a shame, Alan. That's horrible. That's horrible, especially when you're in the middle of a flight. There's nothing worse. I mean, I had something similar. I mean, it's similar. It was OBS. Started a live stream before this live stream, and the first time around, OBS crashed on me, so YouTube wasn't reaching a signal. And I had to restart it, and that really messes around with your analytics on YouTube. Counts as a failed video, basically, which is who cares? If I was doing this for the money, be a different story, but I'm not. It's all about the fun and a healthy hobby. A healthy hobby. You're not going to make a living at our level, I'm afraid, from YouTube. There we go. More lovely scenery. That should be the runway there, so, yep. Going nicely to plan this. Makes a nice change, doesn't it? ILS? I don't think I have an ILS in this. Maybe I do, but I'm not certainly not going to mess around. Oh, I could do. No, it's okay. I'll do it manually. Rustin, it's nice to fly manually. I could do. I just don't want to tempt fate at the moment. It seems to be going smoothly. Yeah, you could do. It's got an ILS system in this navigation system. Nav radios, com radios, that type of thing. Alright, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just start to bring my throttle back to 50%. See my speed. This is the speed dial here. You'll see it's slowing down. Get it to around 100, 80, between 80 and 100, I believe, from memory. Trim up because I don't want to lose too much altitude here. And then I can employ Flexor 1. Engage Flexor 1, basically. Lots of lovely scenery there. So yeah, what was that? That was probably just over an hour. If you flew direct, it's about an hour in the Quickie. Don't worry, the engine's not cut out. It just goes very quiet when you pull the throttle back. Takes about an hour or so. There you go, I'm at the right speed. Almost. An hour to get from London to Manchester, which is not too bad at all. Let's just bring the throttle back a little bit more now. Trim up. That will help me reduce speed. I can go to Flexor 1, stage 1 flaps, essentially. Speed slows down more. I will go pretty much full Flexor. Is it Flexor? I think it is. I believe it is, from memory again. You back in? Great, Al. I know, Ross. No, it's alright. I'll just do this manually. I want to kind of practice sort of lining up. And it's the fun of the aircraft. This, yeah, I don't want to do a fully automated flight. It's nice to take it off autopilot and fly it by hand. Oh, Dave's coming in there too. Lovely. You're going to beat me, Dave? Let's watch Dave land. How are you finding it, Dave? The Quickie. I think you're a fan of it too, aren't you? Are you having that issue when, you know, the sort of fuel issue there? Maybe I've got to read the manual. Maybe you do have to have a healthy amount. I mean, what have we used since we topped it up there? It's just out of interest. Don't crash, please. Yeah, so it's used maybe 10% just on that short space, I think. I'll have to go back and watch the video. Ooh. Some way out there, so I'll just trim up and keep that altitude. Don't want to be slowing down drastically there because I will be in danger of stalling. So what did I get to there, just out of interest? About 60 knots. I'll slow down when I get nearer. Looking good, Dave, my friend. Starting to land, great, Al. Yeah. So it's to whatever similar on Xbox or PC. I don't believe there is, but just by looking, I know Dave is on. One way in front of me is on Xbox, I believe. By the way, are you in chat, Dave? Maybe you're not. Are you using the Velocity 1 or a HOTAS for the Quickie? Oh, let's just slow down again. I kind of went a little bit too quick there. Engage Flexor 2. Not even convinced there is a Flexor 2. I believe there is. Again, I'm rusty with the Quickie, as this video should show you. But I still remember, thankfully, how to land without bouncing if you slow down enough. And the Flexor system, flap system, essentially, it's pretty much needed for landing. No problem, let's just get back to center line there. And we can bring it down, and what I will do, I'll clear the runway. There we go. Reduce the throttle and float. Float, it does want to drop quite quickly, but there we go, it didn't bounce. That was good. Right, Flexor up. come off the runway just to be polite. The parking brake. I did not engage. Maybe it's an automated parking brake when you land. Very strange. I didn't press it. Never mind. Guess it stops you quicker. Right, now I'll press it. Okay, so there you go, chaps. Just a quick ad hoc live stream. Be sure to watch Mark's link in the description there. It's going to be epic later. And read my Quickie article that I wrote for flightsim.com and the video if you've not seen it. Thanks for tuning in. It's been great fun. I'll do these live streams. Landed great, nose went forward. Oh dear, I think it's a pain to land. It is, but it's good fun as well once you get used to it. Just come in slowly, Dave. Slow as you can. Full flexor. Don't forget your flaps, basically. And just float, but it does drop. Anyway, chaps, I'll see you soon.